comes up especially on Twitter, but it comes up in other cases as well. Like in 2017, I went to the World Coffee Producers Forum, and even the then president of Colombia was talking about, he compared the price a farmer received, he compared the profit a farmer received for cherries to the revenue that Starbucks gets for a latte, right?
At that time and still now, the difference between the price of a cup of coffee in the United States or in Paris or in Tokyo compared to what the producers receive is, I would say, obnoxious. The difference. $3.50, for example, a cup of coffee in Starbucks in New York. The producer in Costa Rica, Honduras, El Salvador, or Uganda, or Cameroon, or Kenya, or Colombia receive less than 5 cents. $3.50, and the producer receives less than 5 cents.
So he said that, you know, a farmer gets pennies for the cherries and Starbucks charges $5 for a latte. And people hear those two numbers and just compare the two numbers and say, well, the farmer's only getting pennies and Starbucks is getting $5. And, you know, if you're not in the industry, you're not seeing the difference between, it's apples and oranges, it's not a fair comparison. And, you know, your facility here is a great example. So in the cafe, you have display stands with roasted coffee in it, and you have retail customers, you have guests who are coming to the resort and staying at the resort. And they're coming in, and their target product, the product you are targeting to them is the bags of coffee. But then they're able to walk right through and come down to the fermentation tanks and see us processing coffee. And they could, if they wanted to, talk to you about purchasing some green unroasted coffee. But they're not in that market.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's not only different business models, it's different skill sets. And this is what we were talking about with the farmer yesterday who asked that question. It's, okay, you're a farmer and you know how to farm. You know how to grow and harvest coffee trees. And you might have the ability and a skill set to also process those cherries into a nice product. But then when you start talking about roasting, now you have to know about roasting as well. So that's 3 compartmentalized skill sets that you have to have. And then across all of them is the business skill set, the ability to market, distribute, that whole thing.
Yeah. And back to like the price-wise, and I couldn't have agreed with you more. And I, as a producer, as a coffee professional, I often get asked that kind of questions, like, hey, so-and-so companies sell their latte for $5, $6, right? And, you know, they should have paid you more. You know, why are you only selling for $5 for your coffee, right? And I say, okay, this is such a wide range of problems, and you're only seeing from one perspective. I say, think about it like this. Okay, let me walk you through. I don't know a whole lot about like the cafe business, but I can tell you, starting from the processing. Okay, let's say if I buy coffee cherries. Okay, let me just go ahead and talk in rupiah because I'm much more familiar with that. Okay, as a currency. So let's say I buy. Right now I'm paying 11,000 per kilo, 11,000 rupiah per kilo for cherries. With the current yield, which average at around 14%, I'm looking at 85,000 as my the kind of green is gonna cost me, 85,000. That's excluding labor, electricity, water, etc., etc., etc. All the miscellaneous charges, you know, the bags and everything, right?
Cost of doing business.
Yeah, 85,000. Okay, I might be able to sell that for, let's say, 100,000. Okay, and you say, okay, it's not bad. You know, you make 15,000 a kilo, right? I say, yeah, 15,000, but you have to think about my labor, everything. I mean, they gotta eat, you know. And I have about almost 10 staffs in my department. So, you know, you kind of spread around You just gotta spread, that 15,000 ain't much, okay? And then let's say a roastery. A roasters buy my coffee for 100,000. He roasted, and it's no secret that roasters you normally will double the price of the green. That will be like their retail or maybe their wholesale price. So if you're buying a green for let's say 100,000, normally a roaster would sell the roasted coffee for maybe 250 to 300,000 rupiah. Okay, just to cover up the cost. Maybe he has some installment to pay for his probat, right? And everything, and his staff, his packaging, his marketing, and everything. So if you say, and people say, oh, farmers only make pennies, you have to buy cherries for more. You have to pay the farmers more. Okay, if I buy the cherries for 20,000 rupiah, okay, if I pay the farmer for 20,000 rupiah, that will make my coffee cost roughly about 180,000 rupiah green. Okay, I gotta make something on the top of that. So I'm gonna be selling to roasters for 200,000 rupiah. Okay, a roaster who buy my green, if there's any roaster who wanna buy my green for 200,000, let's say I found like a crazy enough roaster who will be willing to pay 200,000 green. Okay, he or she will buy my coffee for 200,000, and he or she will sell his coffee for 600,000 rupiah. Okay, 600,000 would be what, 50 bucks a kilo? Would you buy that? Would you buy 50 bucks a kilo of roasted coffee?